If you haven't seen Soaring, go on Poppy Blend's YouTube channel. It's live right now.
The only thing we get from this film is show the world that it's possible.
I think the message was the most important part of the film, and I think that's what we tried to relay the entire time. The people around you really do affect your life in a lot of ways. So I think that message was really translated through the film.
Damn, this is who I was 8 years ago. You know, I was going out. I was just worried about the wrong thing. And the only thing I can remember is like the moment I realized that this was an opportunity to change my life, I have to stay focused.
Bro, esa rumba de ayer estuvo loquísima. Hey, ¿qué? Cheers. Mira, se le cayó una bolsa, ¿no? Voy a recogerla, ¿no? No, hombre, a recoger eso. Pierde, este marica se lo pierde. Está enfocado en aprender y la vida se le escapa, weón. Y no puede ser.
Tonight, several breaking stories as we come on the air.
Enemy number one source of criminals.
Now to an ABC News
Meet Poppy Blends, the Miami native.
Brother, este pana que va está enfocado ahí, mano, esa tabla.
Estoy papi malo, hangover. Te la perdiste, weón. Ayer estuvo increíble. Una locura.
Ah, brother, no quiere salir, ¿qué dice party?
Este marico no sé qué le pasa, weón. Yo pensé que era conmigo nada más.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Poppy Blends back again with another podcast cut for Convo. And today we're going to make it a little different because we didn't cut anybody. But today we're going to be speaking on one of our biggest projects that we have released, me and my brother Randy GT3. And we want to emphasize a little bit on the ups and downs, the creation of this podcast, and how amazing this project was, how amazing it was to present this project to the world, and most important, translate the growth of Poppy Blend. So how you feeling today, my brother?
Feeling good, man. Excited to talk about this. Finally, I think tell the people exactly what we actually did in the short film, Soaring. We just released it today. Whenever this podcast releases, we don't know exactly the day, but we released the film today to everyone watching. If you haven't seen Soaring, go on Poppy Blend's YouTube channel. It's live right now. Go check it out.
Today is September 18th. We had a little technical issues as some people don't understand, man, when you're working with high quality stuff and high quality videos and you're working with, you know what I'm saying, exporting these. I'm not a tech savvy. You're the tech savvy. You're the guy behind the cameras, behind the computer, and actually putting the actual work behind this. Coming from you, what do you think was your biggest challenge in performing, which is actually your first short film, a project of this magnitude, which is magnitude, not too big, but, you know, I think it was something great for both of us. But what would you say was your biggest challenge as performing something for the first time like this?
I mean, for me, it probably was pre-production. I think pre-production I think it really is undervalued part of the film itself. There's a lot that goes into creating a film, but if you don't do pre-production properly, everything you do that day is to prepare you for the production day. So if you don't pre-production properly, your entire film day is going to be chaos. So in my opinion, doing proper pre-production is very, very important because you can't, it's what sets you up for the day of filming.
Yeah, so obviously, like I said, it's your first time, right? And there was a lot of things that, obviously, when we do some project or when we do a picture or we do a video, there's always, when you rewatch it, there's like, damn, I should have done this. You know, it's like you say, pre-production was actually a process as well, because we didn't know how to even put a story together. I just wrote something in there and just yo, this is what I want. This is what I think will work. So why not? Yeah, Soaring was definitely a experience to learn. You know, there was a lot of lessons to learn. There was a lot of great things that I took from it too, as far as a content creator, as far as an artist, as far as being the main guy of the film.
Yeah.
So I definitely saw a lot of things in me that I didn't know about myself, you know. I definitely had the moment to sit back and think damn, this is who I was 8 years ago. You know, I was going out. I was drinking. I was just worried about the wrong things. And finally, you know, I took the step into becoming who I am today. And the only thing I can remember is like the moment I realized that this was an opportunity to change my life. That's the moment that I was like, you know what? I have to stay focused. I had to stay focused. And I think that we translated a lot of these things in Soaring, you know. I think Soaring was definitely a film that expressed a lot. And I mean, I hope that the only thing we get from this film is show the world that it's possible, right?
Yeah.
How you feel about Soaring and the message and everything behind it?
I think the message was the most important part of the film, and I think that's what we tried to relay the entire time was the message of the film. You know, you coming from, you know, Soaring, a polluted society, the title of the film, really relating to like the people around you really do affect your life in a lot of ways. Like you being surrounded by the wrong people can really take you from being, you know, it can really like take your life in the wrong direction. And I think that we really sent that message out to people. It's, you know, watch your surroundings and the people you surround yourself with. And, you know, that really does impact your life in a lot of ways. So I think that message was really translated through the film.
Yeah, as today, you know, it's September 18, and we do not know when we're gonna release this podcast, but it's probably gonna be in a week or two. And it's 2 hours since it released, you know, and it's already hitting about 150 views. I've gotten so many amazing messages from people that actually are telling me that the film is amazing. But the most important part is they're telling me like the message behind it, you know, because at the end of the day, what I wanted to implement was a message. I was a message, and I want to, you know, shout out everybody that was part of the film. That it definitely took a team, you know. It's like what I say, like without a team, you really can't make much, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you think you could do it by yourself. Sometimes you think that just running a whole project by yourself is going to make it happen. You might make it happen, but the chances are like 1%. While having a team, you have the chances of 99% of hitting. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it took a collective effort. It was everyone, you know, you were the producer, the writer, which was huge because, you know, you were down to fund anything we needed in the film and make sure that we got everything we needed from lenses to locations. You took care of that. So you were a huge part. And then the writing, I mean, you did phenomenal on the writing, man. Like you killed it. I was like, yo, I don't exactly know how you want to narrate this film, but if you can write it, especially because it was mainly in Spanish, and I think you did phenomenal on the narrating part. That was super impressive for you to just write the entire film from the beginning to the end. Obviously, we all had our input and helped out, but you actually writing that entire film was huge. And then, you know, we had everyone from BTS to, you know, our DP Marino, who did phenomenal on getting all the shots we needed. And then my first time really directing a narrative with a group of actors. And then shout out to our actors as well. We had, you know, my favorite actor, I say it, is probably Barber.
Yeah.
I think he did phenomenal, but everyone did great. Krosti, you know, Chibs, the models, everyone that played cameo, the barbers, Jesus, everyone did crazy. Like everyone killed it. The entire role, it took an entire team of us coming together, and everyone did great. It helped me out as a director because I didn't really have to tell people exactly what to do. It was really natural for the most part.
Yeah, that's what I love the most about this project, right? And that's something that I implement in life too, is like the people you surround yourself with, right? The people that comes around you and the energy that you give out is what you bring. And when we were planning this whole shooting, you know, we had a lot of people in mind that were like, yo, they could make a big part. They could be good. But God didn't want it like that, right? God put just the right people in there. It was effortless. Like nobody was told, like, this is what you got to do. This is like, no. Everything was translated to them. Like, this is the message that we want to give. Here are some of the roles and some of the ideas that we want you to perform. And everyone did an amazing job. Like you said, Barba even looked like he was the main character. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the main bad influence in my life. Like he played his character the right way. Krosti did everything he had to do. Chibs is just Chibs, amazing in camera and all that. You know, then we had Marino just capture the perfect angles and the perfect moments that we needed, then we had you, which is you're the main key because I know you don't like being on camera too much and talking about like the things that you do, but you directed the whole project, right? You were behind every shot, you were behind every saying. You were like, yo, we need to shoot this again. We need to record this part again. I do not like that lighting. Like everything at the end of the day went down to you. Then you put the amount, of hours behind this project we were planning on releasing the day of the rise of hair, but then you realize there were so many things that you could have done better that you just decided to fix it. And, it goes a long way, the amount of work and detail that you put into it. So I want to say here live, thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just about me, man. It's about the whole team. That's why I say Poppy Blends is not me. Poppy Blends is the team that makes Poppy Blends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, and then going back to to the BTS, Silvana, my girlfriend, Fabs. We have Diane too. And everybody was a huge part.
Everyone killed it, man. Everyone killed it. Like I was happy with it. We had a small team, and it was basically a no budget film. We told everyone this is what we want to do. Are you in? And everyone was 100% in. Everyone gave their effort. Everyone tried to do the best they could, and everyone killed it. Everyone killed their role, and I hope you guys really enjoy that film. Like just watch it and try to really take in the message because it's really, I think it's really important and it will impact people. And yeah.
Definitely. And if you're watching this podcast and you haven't watched the film, I encourage you to stop right now, leave it right here and go watch the film. And then you come back to watching this podcast because as I said, this was something that we wanted to translate, that it's more than just a podcast. It's a message. And in this it's more than just a film. It's the message that's behind the film. And then now we're talking a little more about what it went behind the scenes, right? And it's like I said, I couldn't be any more grateful for this and the feedback that we got from this film.
It was crazy. Like, well, we can talk about this, right? Rise of Hair. Like, people don't really, for those of you who don't know, it's you kind of want to explain what Rise of Hair is, but it's a show, and it's basically shout out to Bird. Bird Meta gave us the screening to premiere the film there, and we premiered it to a couple hundred people back in, I think that was August 2nd, right?
August, something like that. August 3rd.
So
August
the film
2nd.
premiered over there in St. Petersburg, which is about 4 hours from where we are. So we took the entire team over there, you rented a van, Airbnb, we took all the models, and the film was really intended for a runway show. Like I put the message at the end of the film, but that's why the film was broken up into 3 acts. So there is, act 1, act 2, act 3. And it kind of breaks up with messages in between, because in between each of those acts, we had the models come out and actually, do the presentation and stuff. So if you want to talk about that presentation.
So it's like you said, shout out Bird for allowing us a place to screen the short film. And we initially started this project because we were presenting at the Rise of Hair. The Rise of Hair is one of my favorite shows, I could say, like with the most confidence, for the fact that it's a show that you're able to showcase fashion, you're able to showcase your art, you're able to showcase content, you're able to showcase your talent all around. And the people that are part of Rise of Hair, and you invited as an artist to the Rise of Hair, you should definitely feel valued. And that's how I felt when I was invited to the Rise of Hair. And that's why I decided to, put such a project like this together, because I was like, I need to show off. I'm standing next to Joel Torres, Kimberly Taher. I'm standing to some guys from Alemania, Australia. And they're just bringing heat. Chris Benson. You know what I mean? There's people making dresses out of plastic bags, which look like you bought those in Givenchy and stuff like that. To me, it was like, I'm standing next to these amazing people. I need to show off, right? And that's when I go back to being grateful of having a great team, because I was able to do it with such a great team. But yeah, this whole film was initially done for the Rise of Hair. But such a good vibes behind the project and the process and the film, that it ended up being actually a life project. This is going to be a film that my kids are going to watch, your kids are gonna watch, and it's definitely not gonna be the last and first, the first and last. It's gonna be definitely something that we're gonna continue. And I could confidently say, and nobody could take this, we're the first ones to drop a short film in the barber industry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, and I mean, I haven't looked. You're probably more invested, more long-term invested. You know exactly more people, so you kind of know what people. But I don't think anyone. Okay, people have done documentaries and things like that. When I say short film, we're talking about narratives, right? With a story, with kind of like a false fiction, but kind of real life story. So this is not a documentary because there's a bunch of documentaries out there. This is an actual short film. It's a 10-minute short film. It has a beginning, a middle, climax, and then obviously your ending. So it's a full-on short film. And I don't think anyone in the barber industry actually created a short film narrative up until this point, up until we created it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we were one of the first ones to.
The feedbacks that I've gotten from other artists is that I know, for example, Bird travels the world, over 50 countries, cities that he's been to. And he's seen many projects, and him himself is a great creator. And he's like, bro, I've never seen something like this. Yeah. He's like, I've never seen something like this. And I think that this is definitely something that is going to change the world. This is definitely something that's going to give a different perspective to the barbers. It's something that's going to inspire, something that's just going to be as unique. And you could confidently say that you're the first ones to put it out. So it's an
honor, man. I mean, I've been obviously working in the barber industry, and I didn't know how big the, barbering industry was up until I remember I stepped into a show with you. I think that was CT Barber Expo 2022. I remember he was like, the first thing you told me, he was like, when you come in here, you're going to see. And I was just like, what are you talking about, man? Like, we're just going into like a stupid expo, like whatever. Stepped in there and I just see all these people, yo, Poppy, yo, Poppy, yo, Poppy. I was just like, what? Like I knew you were popular, but I didn't know you were that popular. And it was crazy, man. So like from that moment on, I was like more invested into like creating into the barber industry. You know what I mean? Creating films, this is the first film, but just creating content for the barber industry. And now we created our first short film, which is crazy, man. Like,
it's crazy. We've definitely, if we go back to when we used to do the reels back in around those times, 2021, 2022, when movie reels were fire, right? That's another thing. Confidently saying, bro, we used to make movies, bro. Like, we have part 1, part 2s of videos that is just like, nobody has those transitions. Nobody has those lighting. Nobody had the photography that I was taking in that time. Right now things have changed. Now we're doing podcasts. Now we're doing short films. We're traveling. We're you know what I'm saying? The industry has allowed us to be in different platforms and areas, But back then, I could definitely say that we have innovated a few things and we have came up with some amazing things. And hey, I don't want to say we were the first ones, but it seems like we were the first ones to do a short film. And the only thing that I can say is I encourage any barber that has the reach and the chance to create a short film or something different, something unique, go ahead, do it. I encourage you to be part of it. And then the only purpose of working hard is to keep inspiring, keep growing, and keep showing the world that things could get done, Things to get done. When I first started, like the beginning of that podcast, I was just about drinking and going out. And the beginning of the short film, I was just about drinking, going out, having fun, bad influence, girls, this, that. And then as my career started progressing, I started realizing, like, damn, I'm growing.
Yeah.
And now we took off, and that's the only thing that I encourage people to do. Just grow, focus, stay on track, watch who you have next to you, and keep going.
I encourage everyone. I mean, anyone out there, go and make a short film. Just go do it. Like this thing we put together in, what was it? It was crazy. The short period of time. That's something else that I think that we just forget sometimes. It's like we started filming, I think July 1st, or I don't even know the exact date. We started filming sometime in July, and we were premiering the film beginning of August.
Yeah. So it took us. We took 3 days to shoot, correct? Yeah, we shot that in 3 days.
Yeah, we shot Act 1, which is the day and night scene,
And then
in one day. We shot Act 2, which is the barbershop scene, a separate entire day. And then Act 3 was its own separate day.
on separate days. So it
So-
took us 3 days to completely film the whole
It was
thing.
yeah, it was a project that everyone had to really be efficient, not waste anyone's time. Everyone was locked in, focused. It was hard, man, because then after that, you know, filming it is one thing, and then taking it to post-production, taking it to the editing software, and then now having to tell the entire story in editing, and then sound design, and there's so many different layers that go into the editing process, and then crunching that into such a short time period
Yeah.
that you remember we were at the Airbnb in St. Petersburg, and I was still editing the film the morning of.
Actually, I'm gonna leave that footage right here, yo. Randy, we got to the Airbnb the night before. He hadn't slept, and we got to the Airbnb. He realized that the film wasn't the way he wanted, and he busted a whole all-nighter. Like, we literally ate. He was sitting down. We went to sleep. He was sitting down. I woke up. He was still in the same position with the same clothes and everything. He turns around. He's like, I don't think I'm still done. I'm going to go now to the venue and finish. And I was like, shit. You know what I'm saying? So shout out all those videographers and post team. You know, sometimes we see these artists and these people shining and all that stuff, and you cannot get it done without your post team. Whoever is behind you, whoever is putting these videos together, whoever is putting these podcasts together, whoever is putting these interviews together, whoever is managing, whoever is behind you, it's really who makes you. And that's why a team is the most important part. Riding the world with a team is going to take you far, far, far. So taking it a little different, I want you as a filmmaker, as a post-production guy, as the director, as being a big part of Soaring, what was your biggest lessons, you know, when shooting your first short film and working with, you know what I'm saying, such a low budget, and then sitting down and editing and all that stuff? What was one of the biggest lessons that you take out of this, and how many other lessons you have there?
I think it's just dedication, man. You have to I mean, that entire month, you took everything from my plate that I had, and you were just like, I'm going to help you on anything else you need help with, because you need to focus on this. You need to go 100% on this film. And I think the main lesson is just you need to be 100% dedicated. Like, your mind really can't be on my mind. I was literally sleeping, everything. Like, I was in my sleep, I would dream of the actual film, and I'm not even joking. Like, I would wake up, think of the film. It was like that for an entire month. I was just literally breathing and just thinking of the film all day. So I think that it really comes down to dedication, man. I think that's the main thing that you need is you need to dedicate 100% of your focus into that film.
So you realize that whenever you take in a project and is as big as this, you have to stay on point. Like, you got to leave everything to the side and you got to work on one thing. Because I know videographers would take 3 jobs at once, and that's why sometimes things be bootleg. But I know you being as detailed as you are,
Yeah.
you think that you understood that, yo, when I take one project, it has to be this.
Yeah, I mean, you see it with big film directors. They're not directing 3 movies at once.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan, you can name all the big directors. When they're going into a project, they're locking in on that project. When you talk to a colorist, when you talk to someone who's editing a film, for the most part, everyone's focusing on that one project until that project is done. I think you need to dedicate 100% of your time into that in order for that project to come out and be effective. Same thing when you were writing. Think about if you were writing Soaring and then you were writing something else.
Yeah.
Your mind wouldn't be 100% into Soaring. So now, is that going to be authentic to the viewers? Because now your mind is somewhere else. But when you're directly just focused on that one thing, I feel like your mind is invested into it.
Yeah.
And now you're 100% in on that project. And that's how I felt when I was editing the film. And and filming it and everything else.
Yeah, I think that's very important, right? Because I have friends that write music too, and they're like, bro, I just gotta focus. Like, it's either I translate what I'm living in my current life, or I'm sitting down and focusing exactly on the story that I want to put together. And definitely when I was writing it, I'm an overthinker already. I'm a huge overthinker. I got that stuff even tatted on here. And when I was thinking about the film, you know how many times I called you, like, yo, I just came up with this idea. I'm gonna write it down. Write it down. So one time I came over and actually like I sat down and you and Marina are talking. I'm like, yo, shut up. 'Cause I'm focused right now. You know what I'm saying? You guys were like, oh shit, this nigga, he's serious. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote that all that down. And then I presented it to y'all, and y'all, you know, we corrected between everybody, and then what we thought, but definitely, you know, I like that. Yeah, when you focus on when you're doing one thing, you need to stay focused on that one thing until that project is over. It's like when I'm doing hair, I'm focused on the actual haircut. You know what I'm saying? I'm not focused on my next client. I'm focused on like how I'm gonna perform this haircut, and then
let's
I'll
finish
worry
this first.
about the next verse. So finish what's in front of you first, and then continue to the next one. That's amazing, man. That's what it's about. You know, that's what I learned when you do projects, when you get into, you know, anything that you get into, you're always gonna learn something. You're always gonna learn something, and the next one is gonna be better, and the next one is gonna be better, and the next one is just gonna continue getting better and better. That's
100%.
awesome, man. Yeah, man, that's amazing, bro. Fuck, I'm so excited for this. Like, I can't wait to see how far Soaring is gonna take views, or how many opportunities can Soaring provide us, or I just want to see like what the world thinks about it, right? And as I said, if you're watching this and you haven't seen it, scroll down and go watch Soaring.
Yeah, man, a lot of feedback from the people so far. I think we got a couple comments already from what I was looking up earlier. So we really appreciate the feedback. It motivates us to keep going. And I mean, it's not about views or anything like that. We're just, whoever's seen it, show some love, show some support, share the film. We appreciate that. It goes a long way. I think we're only getting started with the short films. We're going to keep going and creating more and more and more. And I mean, the first one was just us getting warmed up.
Yeah, I'm excited to do the other one. I'm already thinking, like, you know, right now that I saw it, because if I'm honest with you, I just saw the film now. Like, I saw it at Rise of Hair, but Rise of Hair was a different format. It was a different length. It was a different feeling. It was a different, like, you know, some ambience. It was a different purpose. Right now, I actually sat on my couch and looked at the film and analyzed the color, analyzed my words, analyzed everybody's words, analyzed the shot, analyzed everything on it, right? And I think it's amazing, like, the way it looks and the message and everything. But there's also definitely a lot that I learned myself, as like the way I speak, my message delivery, the message that I want to translate. Because as you guys know, I'm a content creator, I'm an ambassador, I'm an educator. I represent a lot of things in life, you know what I'm saying? And most important, I represent myself. And I realized, like, throughout the years, the only thing that I want to bring to the world is a great message, and keep inspiring and keep motivating, you know what I'm saying, the youngs and the olders and whoever likes my work and likes who I am, to keep doing better, keep trying new things. So definitely Soaring was a challenge, and shit.
One of many, man. One of many.
One of many. I'm so low in words because, like you said, you know, we got to focus on the moment. But like, just thinking about like how this is playing on the background of my head, and it's just there, like, damn, I want to watch it again and see. So that's dope. So if you haven't watched Soaring again, go watch it. I encourage you to watch it. And yeah, man, that was dope.
It was a crazy, crazy experience. The entire process, man, I just want to thank you for dedicating your time and putting in all that effort that you did. And as I mentioned earlier, in writing the film and helping me direct really my first short narrative. I want to keep doing more. I'm more invested into that. I'm a creator. If there's any creators out there that want to come and join me as a creator as well and help us in anything we're creating, I have like documentaries, things that I want to do in mind already, and I'm going to keep fueling off of that. And you know, my passion is really driven off of creating these type of films. Like this, I considered it 100% a passion project. It wasn't a project that I was like, yo, I want to get paid for this, or I want money from this. I wasn't looking for none of that. I was 100% in on this project, and I just wanted to do something that meant something to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, bro. That's what it's about. What he said, if there's any creators out there, if there's anybody that wants to join us, join our team, and just come with us and create and get better and grow and just bring a new taste to the team, you're more than welcome to. Either DM me, DM Randy. Let's get to work. There's a lot of opportunities that can be created out there, and at the end of the day, you got to create on your own opportunities. But yeah, brother, we're going to wrap it up. We just wanted to talk a little bit about Soaring, which is one of our biggest projects at the moment. Again, if you didn't watch it, go watch it. That's my saying for the next month. If you didn't watch Soaring, go watch Soaring.
Go check it out.
Because it's definitely, you're going to get a message out of it. And after you watch it, let me know what you thought. Again, Randy, thank you so much for being part of this podcast, being part of Soaring, and just completely being part of my life and the Poppy Blends brand, brother.
Hey, anytime, man. You know, I'm in it for the long run, so let's keep going.
Yeah, let's get it. So anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know what type of content, what type of podcast, or who would you like to have on this podcast. It's your boy Poppy Blends, Randy GT3, and we're here and Cut for a Convo. Catch you guys on the next one.